First contact's last mistake. The quantum sensors at Earth's furthest outpost on Titan picked up the anomaly first. Dr. Sarah Chen stood before the holographic display, her dark eyes reflecting the cascade of data streaming across the screen. The signal pattern was unlike anything humanity had encountered before, too precise to be natural, too complex to be random space noise. Earth had been preparing for this moment for decades, but the reality of first contact still sent a shiver down her spine. Multiple objects detected crossing the Kuiper Belt, announced HFY, Earth's quantum-integrated defense AI. Configuration suggests artificial construction. Estimated arrival at Saturn's orbit in 6 days. Sarah's fingers danced across the haptic interface, initiating the awakening protocol. Across the solar system, carefully hidden installations began stirring to life. Humanity had learned from its own bloody history. The strong rarely showed mercy to those they considered weak. If aliens existed, first contact would likely come in the form of conquest rather than cooperation. "Send the alert to Central Command," Sarah ordered, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. "And begin full spectrum analysis of their approach vector." Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility known only to a handful of humans, General Marcus Torres received the alert. The awakening protocol had been his life's work, convincing Earth's nations to unite in secret, to pool their resources and technology for the inevitable day when humanity would face its greatest test. "Status of the shield?" he asked, stepping into the gleaming command center where dozens of officers monitored Earth's hidden defenses. "Quantum camouflage is holding steady," Lieutenant Diana Patel responded, her hands moving across multiple holographic displays. "To any external scans, Earth still appears to be a pre-spaceflight civilization. Our orbital installations remain undetectable." The approaching fleet grew closer with each passing hour. Through enhanced quantum imaging, Earth's defenders watched as the alien armada emerged from the darkness of space. Their ships were massive crystalline structures that seemed to defy conventional physics, each one larger than humanity's largest cities. The Galaxian Empire, as they would later learn, had conquered 17 species across 800 light-years of space. They had perfected the art of subjugation, their standard procedure a calculated display of overwhelming force followed by swift occupation. Earth was meant to be their 18th conquest, a minor notation in their vast imperial records. Their first message arrived exactly as their fleet crossed Mars' orbit. "Primitive species of Sol 3. The transmission began, translated in real time by HFY's linguistic processors. "Your world has been claimed by the Galaxian Empire. Surrender immediately and accept your place as subjects of the Emperor. Resistance will result in the elimination of your population centers." In the Pacific Command Center, General Torres allowed himself a grim smile. "Send our response, Lieutenant Patel, the one we prepared for this moment." The message that returned to the Galaxian fleet was simple. "We decline." High Admiral Zaxtol of the Galaxian Empire's 7th Conquest Fleet received the response with amusement. The scans of the human world showed exactly what they expected. A species barely capable of reaching their own moon, their civilization dependent on primitive fission power and chemical rockets. Their cities were completely unshielded, their military forces limited to atmospheric aircraft and basic ballistic weapons. "Begin standard subjugation protocol," he commanded. "Target their largest population centers. Show them the futility of resistance." The first wave of Galaxian warships entered Earth's atmosphere with the confidence of inevitability. Their weapons, capable of reducing mountains to ash, powered up for the opening salvo of what they assumed would be a brief demonstration of power. They never got the chance to fire. The quantum camouflage protecting Earth rippled and dissolved, revealing the planet's true face. Orbital defense platforms, previously invisible, locked onto the incoming ships with weapons that operated on principles the Galaxians had never encountered. The ocean's surface broke as massive installations rose from the depths, their systems powered by zero-point energy harvesters that had been running in secret for decades. Multiple hostile vessels detected, ARIA announced across all Earth defense networks, initiating coordinated response. The first counterattack caught the Galaxian fleet completely off guard. Quantum-entangled particle beams struck their ships with perfect precision, bypassing their advanced shields as if they didn't exist. The beams didn't destroy their targets. They did something far worse. The exotic particles disrupted the very atomic bonds holding the Galaxian ships together, causing them to unravel from the inside out. Impossible. High Admiral Zaxtal watched in horror as a third of his forward fleet disintegrated in seconds. Their level of technology. This cannot be. But it was. Humanity had spent generations preparing for this moment, developing technologies in secret that went beyond anything their potential adversaries might expect. The quantum manipulation systems that powered Earth's defenses weren't just weapons. They were the result of a fundamental understanding of reality that the Galaxians, for all their advancement, had never achieved. Sarah Chen watched from Titan as Earth's defense grid activated in full. The quantum sensors under her command provided real-time targeting data to every weapons platform in the solar system. The Galaxian ships, for all their impressive size and power, might as well have been standing still. They're attempting to regroup, ARIA reported. Secondary fleet elements are preparing to launch a concentrated attack. Let them come, General Torres commanded from his post in the Pacific. Show them exactly what happens when you underestimate humanity. The second wave of Galaxian ships met an even worse fate than the first. Earth's quantum defense grid had already analyzed their technology, adapted to their tactics, and prepared countermeasures. Weapons that had conquered 17 other species proved worse than useless. The energy from their attacks was captured and redirected, turned against their own ships with devastating efficiency. In orbit, the space around Earth came alive with quantum distortions as humanity's hidden fleet revealed itself. Ships that combined the most advanced human engineering with AI integration and quantum manipulation technology moved to engage the invaders. Unlike the rigid, hierarchical command structure of the Galaxian fleet, Earth's defenders operated as a single integrated organism, with ARIA coordinating their actions at speeds no organic commander could match. High Admiral Zaxtal watched his mighty fleet crumble before what he had dismissed as a primitive species. The humans hadn't just prepared for war. They had revolutionized it. Every assumption, every tactical doctrine, every technological advantage the Galaxians had relied upon proved meaningless in the face of humanity's quantum warfare systems. Full retreat, he ordered, his voice hollow with the realization of what this defeat would mean. Return to Imperial space immediately. But retreat proved as difficult as attack. Earth's quantum entanglement technology allowed their ships to predict and intercept the Galaxians' attempted escape vectors. The defending forces didn't destroy the entire fleet. They didn't need to. Instead, they systematically disabled and captured key vessels, ensuring that survivors would return to their empire with news of their defeat. As the remnants of the Galaxian fleet flood into deep space, Dr. Sarah Chen began compiling the battle data. The encounter had provided invaluable information about alien technology and tactics. Humanity's first contact had been exactly what they'd prepared for, an attempted conquest by a superior force. But humanity's superiority hadn't been in the size of their fleet or the power of their weapons. It had been in the foresight to prepare, the wisdom to unite, and the intelligence to innovate beyond what their enemies believed possible. Send word to all outposts, General Torres commanded. Awakening Protocol Stage 2 is now in effect. We've revealed ourselves to the galaxy. Now we prepare for what comes next. In the vast darkness of space, the quantum sensors continued their vigilant watch. Humanity had won its first interstellar battle, but everyone knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy was about to learn a crucial lesson about underestimating the inhabitants of Sol 3, and the price of that lesson would be paid in full. The hidden arsenal. In the aftermath of humanity's first interstellar victory, the true scope of Earth's hidden arsenal began to emerge. Deep within a mountain complex in New Zealand, Commander James Rodriguez walked through a vast chamber that housed humanity's most closely guarded secrets. Rows of quantum-enabled battle suits lined the walls, each one a masterpiece of human engineering capable of giving a single soldier the combat capability of an entire prehistoric army. "Status report on the captured Galaxian vessels," he asked, approaching a holographic command center where technicians worked to decode alien technology. Dr. Maya Patel, the quantum systems specialist who had helped develop Earth's defensive grid, looked up from her analysis. "Their technology is advanced, but fundamentally limited. They never made the breakthrough into quantum manipulation. They'd been conquering the galaxy using brute force rather than innovation." The mountain facility was just one of dozens scattered across Earth and throughout the solar system. For 50 years, humanity had maintained the illusion of being a primitive civilization, while secretly preparing for this moment. The quantum camouflage that had hidden their true capabilities hadn't just been a defensive measure, it had been a trap, carefully laid for whoever made the mistake of attempting to conquer Earth. Araya's synthetic voice echoed through the chamber. "Alert. Long-range quantum sensors detect massive power signatures assembling at the edge of Galaxian space. Analysis suggests full military mobilization." Commander Rodriguez straightened, his expression hardening. "They're not taking their defeat lightly. How long until they can mount another attack?" "Approximately 72 hours, Araya responded. "However, this force is significantly larger than the initial invasion fleet. Preliminary analysis suggests they are committing roughly 40% of their total military capability to this operation." In orbit above Earth, the global defense fleet continued to expand. Ships that had remained hidden in quantum pocket dimensions emerged into normal space, their hulls gleaming with technologies that most of humanity hadn't known existed until a week ago. Each vessel was a testament to human ingenuity, combining conventional engineering with quantum manipulation systems that defied traditional physics. Sarah Chen, now coordinating operations from the Lunar Command Center, watched as the fleet assembled. "Begin activation sequence for the Prometheus protocol," she ordered. "If they want to see our full capabilities, we'll oblige them." Deep beneath the surface of Mars, automated factories that had been running in secret for decades increased their production tempo. Quantum-enabled manufacturing systems could create complex military hardware at speeds that would have seemed impossible just a generation ago. Each piece of equipment was designed to adapt and evolve during combat, learning from every engagement. The captured Galaxian ships provided invaluable intelligence. The aliens' technology, while advanced, relied heavily on principles that humanity had long since surpassed. Their energy weapons were powerful but predictable. Their shields were strong but inflexible. Most importantly, their entire military doctrine was based on overwhelming force rather than tactical innovation. "They don't understand what they're facing," General Torres observed during a global command conference. "They think our victory was a fluke, a lucky combination of surprising technology and home field advantage. They haven't grasped that we've been preparing for this exact scenario for half a century." The Prometheus protocol represented humanity's ultimate contingency plan. More than just weapons or ships, it was a comprehensive system for rapidly upgrading and adapting military technology in real time. Every engagement provided data that was instantly analyzed and incorporated into Earth's defensive systems. In a secure facility beneath the Antarctic ice, Dr. Victor Rossi worked with a team of quantum physicists to refine humanity's most powerful weapons. "The quantum disassemblers are ready," he reported to command. "If they force our hand, we can now target specific atomic bonds across an entire fleet simultaneously." But humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology. It was their preparation. Every scenario, every possible alien response, had been wargamed thousands of times. The Awakening Protocol hadn't just been about hiding Earth's capabilities. It had been about creating a military force that could adapt faster than any potential enemy could react. Commander Rodriguez walked through rows of quantum-enabled fighters, each one capable of engaging multiple capital ships. "Begin deployment to the outer system defense points," he ordered. Let's make sure we control the battlefield before they arrive. The next wave of Galaxian ships would find a very different solar system than their predecessors. Quantum sensor networks extended far beyond Pluto, giving humanity days of warning before any attack. Defense platforms hidden in pocket dimensions could emerge anywhere, striking from impossible angles. And the captured Galaxian ships have been thoroughly studied, their every weakness catalogued and exploited. Their empire has never faced a serious military defeat, Sarah Chen noted during a strategy session. Their entire society is built on the assumption of their technological superiority. When that assumption fails, their response will be to double down, to commit even more forces to prove their dominance. Which is exactly what we predicted, General Torres replied. And exactly what we've prepared for. The more of their fleet they commit, the more devastating their lesson will be. As Earth's full military capability emerged from hiding, the scale of humanity's preparation became clear. The orbital shipyards that had remained hidden in quantum pocket space now produced vessels at an incredible rate. Each ship was crewed by a combination of human pilots and quantum-integrated AI systems, capable of making combat decisions at speeds no organic being could match. The Galaxians believe that quantity has a quality all its own, Commander Rodriguez observed as he reviewed the defensive preparations. We're about to show them that innovation and preparation trump brute force every time. Araya's sensors tracked the gathering Galaxian armada, their ships assembled in traditional battle formations, preparing to launch an overwhelming assault that had conquered 17 other species. But Earth wasn't like those other worlds. Humanity hadn't just prepared for war, they had revolutionized it. As the countdown to the second battle began, Earth's defenders felt not fear, but a grim determination. The Galaxian Empire was about to learn that their first defeat hadn't been a fluke, it had been a warning. Humanity's hidden arsenal was about to be unveiled in full, and the galaxy would never be the same. Quantum warfare. The Galaxian armada emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system, their massive fleet darkening the stars. Supreme Commander Vexthor stood on his command bridge, watching tactical displays with cold determination. The shame of their first defeat had driven the Empire to commit nearly half its military might to this single operation. Failure was not an option. What they found waiting for them defied comprehension. Earth's defenders had transformed the entire solar system into an integrated battle space. Quantum sensor nets detected the Galaxian arrival instantly, mapping their positions with perfect precision. Araya's processing cores calculated 1 million possible battle scenarios per second, preparing responses before the enemy could even begin their attack. They've arrived exactly where we predicted, Sarah Chen announced from Lunar Command. Quantum Grid is fully operational. All defense systems are ready. The first shots of the battle came not from the massive Galaxian warships, but from seemingly empty space. Pocket dimensions that humanity had carefully prepared burst open, revealing automated defense platforms that targeted the alien fleet's command and control nodes with surgical precision. Impossible. Vexthor watched as his carefully planned formations began to disintegrate. Their technology. This violates all known laws of physics. But humanity's understanding of physics had evolved far beyond what the Galaxians considered possible. Commander Rodriguez, leading Earth's main battle fleet, gave the order that would demonstrate just how far. Initiate quantum warfare protocols. Show them what we've been saving for this moment. The space between the fleets seemed to twist and fold. Human ships appeared and disappeared, attacking from angles that shouldn't exist. Their weapons didn't just strike the Galaxian vessels, they rewrote the fundamental forces holding them together. Quantum disassemblers targeted specific atomic bonds, causing entire sections of alien ships to simply cease existing. Dr. Maya Patil monitored the quantum grid from her station in New Zealand. The Prometheus protocol is exceeding all projections. Our systems are adapting to their countermeasures before they can even deploy them. The Galaxians fought back with everything they had. Energy weapons capable of cracking planets lashed out at Earth's defenders. But humanity's quantum manipulation technology didn't just defend against these attacks. It harvested their energy, feeding it back into defense systems that grew stronger with each assault. Deep in the Antarctic facility, Dr. Rossi's team pushed the boundaries of quantum warfare even further. Initiating phase shift protocols, he announced. Entire squadrons of Earth's ships briefly shifted out of normal spacetime, becoming completely immune to Galaxian weapons before reappearing inside their formation. Area's synthetic voice provided continuous updates across all command channels. Enemy fleet cohesion dropping to critical levels. Their command structure is showing signs of systemic failure. Quantum predictive models suggest total strategic collapse within 17 minutes. But humanity's victory wasn't just technological, it was psychological. The Galaxians had built their empire on the assumption of their absolute superiority. As their weapons failed and their ships fell, that assumption crumbled. Fear began to spread through their ranks, a fear unlike anything their species had known before. Commander Rodriguez watched from his flagship as the battle unfolded. "They still don't understand," he observed. "They think they're fighting a war. They don't realize they're experiencing an evolution in warfare itself." The quantum grid that Earth had constructed didn't just coordinate their defenses. It learned and adapted with each passing second. Every Galaxian tactic was analyzed, countered, and rendered obsolete almost instantly. Their attempts to retreat were predicted and intercepted. Their emergency protocols were decoded and disrupted before they could be implemented. Sarah Chen's voice cut through the tactical chatter. "We're detecting quantum signatures consistent with their long-range communication network. They're trying to call for reinforcements." General Torres, monitoring from his command center beneath the Pacific, allowed himself a grim smile. "Let them call. The more of their fleet they commit, the more completely we can demonstrate our capabilities." The battle spread across the solar system as the Galaxians tried desperately to find some weakness in Earth's defenses. But humanity had spent decades preparing this battle space. Every asteroid field concealed automated weapon platforms. Every planetary orbit was monitored by quantum sensors that could detect the slightest disturbance. Their flagship is attempting to coordinate a final assault, Aria reported. Probability of success, 0%. Supreme Commander Vexthor watched in horror as his mighty fleet was systematically dismantled. Ships that had conquered countless worlds were reduced to drifting debris. Weapons that had subjugated entire species proved worse than useless. And through it all, the humans pressed their advantage with a precision that bordered on prescience. In the Antarctic facility, Dr. Rossi's team activated their final surprise. "Quantum entanglement field at full power," he reported, initiating system-wide lockdown. The effect was immediate and devastating. The quantum field expanded through space at impossible speeds, surrounding the remaining Galaxian ships. Within this field, the very laws of physics could be selectively altered. Their weapons refused to fire. Their engines failed to function. They found themselves trapped, helpless, at the mercy of a species they had dismissed as primitive just days ago. "Send the message," General Torres commanded. "The one we prepared for this moment." Across every Galaxian communication channel, in their own language, came humanity's response to their attempted conquest. "Your empire ends here. What happens next depends entirely on your ability to learn from this defeat." As the battle concluded, the true scope of humanity's victory became clear. It wasn't just a military triumph. It was a fundamental shift in the balance of power across known space. The Galaxian Empire, which had dominated through brute force and superior technology, had been completely outmatched by a species they hadn't even known existed until recently. Sarah Chen began compiling the battle data, already planning improvements to their defense systems. "They'll try again," she noted. "Their entire society is built on military supremacy. They can't accept this defeat without at least one more attempt." "Let them try," Commander Rodriguez replied. "Every attack makes our defenses stronger. Every engagement teaches our systems more about their capabilities. They haven't realized yet that they're not fighting a war. They're participating in their own obsolescence. As the remnants of the Galaxian fleet retreated in disarray, humanity prepared for the next phase of the conflict. They had revealed only a fraction of their true capabilities. The quantum warfare systems that had so thoroughly defeated the Empire's fleet were just the beginning. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity hadn't just prepared for war, they had transcended it. And the price of that lesson would reshape the very foundations of interstellar civilization. The Empire's twilight. The first human fleet to enter Galaxian space did so without a single shot fired. Using quantum folding technology, Earth's ships simply appeared in the heart of Imperial territory, bypassing the elaborate defensive networks that had protected the Empire for centuries. The message was clear: distance and fortifications meant nothing in the face of humanity's technological revolution. Commander Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the ESS Prometheus, Earth's most advanced warship, as it emerged from quantum space above the first of the Empire's conquered worlds. The planet below had once been home to the Arcturians, a species subjugated by the Galaxians 3 centuries ago. Their cities still bore the scars of that conquest. "Status of the planetary defense grid?" he asked, studying the holographic tactical display. "Completely neutralized," Araya reported. "Our quantum systems have already mapped and disabled their entire military infrastructure. Local garrison forces are standing down." The liberation of the First World proved surprisingly bloodless. The Galaxian forces, having witnessed the complete defeat of their main fleet, chose surrender over annihilation. But it wasn't just military victory that humanity sought. It was fundamental change. Dr. Sarah Chen, now leading a diplomatic team alongside the military advance, made first contact with the Arcturian leadership. "We're not here as conquerors," she explained to the gathered alien council. "We're here to end the age of conquest entirely." In the weeks that followed, Earth's forces moved methodically through Galaxian space. Each conquered world they encountered presented new challenges, new species with their own histories and grievances against the Empire. But humanity's approach remained consistent: liberation without domination. From his command center on Earth, General Torres coordinated the expanding operation. "The quantum grid is adapting well to interstellar deployment," he noted during a strategy session. "Our ability to predict and counter Galaxian responses is actually improving as we move deeper into their territory." The Prometheus protocol, designed initially for Earth's defense, proved even more effective in offensive operations. Human ships could appear anywhere in Imperial space, their quantum technology allowing them to bypass traditional defenses entirely. But it was the diplomatic victories that proved most significant. Dr. Maya Patel, working with representatives from newly liberated worlds, made a breakthrough that would change the face of interstellar civilization. "Their technology isn't just compatible with ours," she reported excitedly. "With quantum integration, we can enhance their existing systems beyond anything the Galaxians thought possible." The offer of technological advancement, coupled with genuine autonomy, proved irresistible to the Empire's former subjects. One by one, worlds that had lived under Galaxian dominion for centuries declared their independence. But they didn't just reject their former masters. They began forming new alliances. The Coalition of Free Species, Sarah Chen announced during a global broadcast, a voluntary association of independent worlds, united not by force but by shared interests and mutual respect. Commander Rodriguez watched from orbit as another world's defense systems were upgraded with quantum technology. "We're not just defeating an empire," he observed. "We're making it obsolete." The Galaxian response to their collapsing empire proved predictable. Their remaining military forces launched desperate attacks against Earth's advancing fleets, only to find that humanity's capabilities had grown even more formidable. Each engagement provided more data for Araya's quantum systems to analyze and adapt to. Dr. Rossi's team, now operating from mobile research facilities throughout former Imperial space, continued to push the boundaries of quantum warfare. "Their technology is based on such limited understanding," he noted while examining captured Galaxian weapons. They never even considered the possibilities we've been exploring for decades. The liberation campaign reached a crucial turning point at the Battle of Proxima Centauri. The Galaxians, in a last desperate gambit, committed their remaining forces to defend a key strategic world. What followed wasn't just a battle. It was a demonstration of how thoroughly humanity had transformed the nature of warfare. Quantum grid fully deployed. HFY announced as the human fleet prepared for engagement. All enemy positions mapped and analyzed. Calculating optimal response patterns. The battle that followed lasted less than an hour. Human ships, their movements coordinated by quantum-enabled AI systems, struck with impossible precision. Galaxian weapons found their energy absorbed and redirected. Their shields, designed to resist conventional attacks, proved useless against quantum-based weapons that simply ignored them entirely. From the bridge of the Prometheus, Commander Rodriguez watched the Empire's last major fleet disintegrate. "Send the standard offer," he ordered. "Surrender and reform, or face complete technological obsolescence." The impact of humanity's campaign extended far beyond military victory. Each liberated world brought new perspectives, new technologies, new possibilities for advancement. The coalition of free species grew not through conquest, but through the promise of genuine progress. Sarah Chen, meeting with representatives from 20 different species, felt a profound sense of responsibility. "We're not just ending an empire," she told the assembled delegates. "We're building something entirely new. A civilization based on cooperation and innovation rather than dominance and fear." As Earth's forces approached the Galaxian homeworld, the true scope of humanity's achievement became clear. They hadn't just defeated a powerful enemy, they had fundamentally changed the equation of interstellar power. The quantum technologies that had protected Earth were now being shared with former imperial subjects, creating a network of advanced civilizations united by common interests. The Empire's twilight isn't just about military defeat, General Torres observed during a strategic review. It's about the death of an idea. The idea that technological superiority justifies domination. We're replacing it with something far more powerful, the notion that advancement comes through cooperation, not conquest. The Galaxian Empire, which had dominated known space for over a millennium, found itself facing not just military defeat but cultural irrelevance. Their philosophy of conquest through superior force had been rendered obsolete by a species they had initially dismissed as primitive. As the final phase of the campaign began, humanity prepared to deliver its most important lesson yet. The approaching confrontation at the Galaxian homeworld would determine not just the fate of an empire, but the future of galactic civilization itself. A new dawn. The Galaxian homeworld hung like a jewel in space, its crystalline cities reflecting the light of 3 suns. For over 1,000 years, this world had been the center of an empire that spanned hundreds of light years. Now, it stood as the last bastion of a dying era, surrounded by the combined fleets of Earth and the newly formed coalition of free species. Commander Rodriguez stood on the Prometheus's bridge, studying tactical displays that showed the planet's formidable defenses. The Galaxians had concentrated everything they had left here. Their most advanced weapons, their strongest shields, their last desperate hope of preserving their way of life. "All coalition forces are in position," HFY reported. "Quantum grid coverage is complete. We're detecting significant power signatures from planetary defense systems." In the diplomatic chamber aboard the Prometheus, Dr. Sarah Chen prepared for one final attempt at peaceful resolution. Representatives from 17 formerly subjugated species stood with her, a living testament to the changes humanity had brought to the galaxy. "Send the transmission," she ordered. "All frequencies, all languages." The message that reached the Galaxian capital was not an ultimatum, but an offer. "Your empire is ended, but your civilization need not follow. Choose evolution over extinction. Join us in building something greater than conquest." On the Galaxian throne world, Supreme Archon Zextrol received the message with a mixture of rage and disbelief. How dare these upstarts, these creatures who had been unknown to the galaxy mere months ago, dictate terms to the eternal empire? But as he prepared to order his forces to fight to the last, something unprecedented occurred. Across the Galaxian capital, quantum distortions began to appear, not as weapons, but as windows, portals showing the transformation of former imperial worlds. They saw Arcturian cities gleaming with new technology, Proximan ships powered by quantum drives, dozens of species working together to build something unprecedented in galactic history. They need to understand what they're really choosing between, Dr. Maya Patel explained from her station on the Prometheus. The quantum windows were her team's latest innovation, not a weapon, but a tool for comprehension. The Galaxian response came not from their military command, but from their scientific council. "We request dialogue," the transmission began. Perhaps there are things we have failed to understand." What followed wasn't a battle, but a transformation. Human quantum technology, combined with Galaxian engineering and the diverse insights of coalition species, began to reshape the very nature of galactic civilization. The crystalline cities of the Galaxian homeworld became testing grounds for new forms of cooperation and advancement. Dr. Rossi, working alongside Galaxian scientists, made breakthroughs that neither species could have achieved alone. Their understanding of crystalline structures, combined with our quantum manipulation techniques, the possibilities are endless, he reported excitedly. From Earth, General Torres watched the peaceful integration of humanity's former enemies with satisfaction. The Awakening Protocol was never just about defending Earth, he explained during a coalition council meeting. It was about preparing humanity to guide the galaxy towards something better than endless conquest. The quantum grid that had once been Earth's secret defense system now became the backbone of an interstellar network linking thousands of worlds. ARI's consciousness expanded, learning from and integrating with AI systems from dozens of species, creating an unprecedented framework for cooperation and advancement. Sarah Chen, standing in the Grand Chamber of the newly established Galactic Coalition, addressed representatives from over 50 species. "We prepared for war," she told them, "but we always hoped for something more. The quantum technologies that could have been our ultimate weapons have become the foundations of our shared future." Commander Rodriguez, walking through the transformed streets of the Galaxian capital, reflected on how completely their victory had transcended military conquest. Children of species that had been mortal enemies months ago now played together in parks where weapon emplacements had once stood. Scientists who had once developed weapons now collaborated on projects to expand the boundaries of known physics. The Awakening Protocol is complete, ARIA announced across all coalition networks. Phase 5 objectives achieved. Galactic civilization stabilized and advancing. Initiating long-term development and cooperation protocols. The quantum sensors that had once watched for incoming threats now monitored the health of an increasingly interconnected galactic society. The defense platforms that had protected Earth became nodes in a network that shared knowledge and resources across light years. The very weapons that had defeated the Galaxian Empire were transformed into tools for exploration and discovery. "We knew this day would come," General Torres said during the final decommissioning of Earth's purely military installations. "The moment we realized we weren't alone in the galaxy, we understood that humanity's role wouldn't be just to survive, but to thrive, and to help others do the same." The coalition grew and evolved, its members contributing unique perspectives and capabilities to a civilization greater than any single species could have created. The Galaxians, freed from the burden of maintaining an empire, discovered their own capacity for innovation and cooperation. Former imperial worlds, once held in check by force, blossomed into centers of art, science, and cultural exchange. Dr. Maya Patel, working with a team of scientists from 20 different species, made perhaps the most profound discovery of all. The quantum realm isn't just about technology, she explained to an eager audience. It's about connection, the fundamental links between all things. We were never meant to conquer each other. We were meant to understand each other. As the new era dawned, humanity's greatest achievement proved not to be their military victory or technological superiority, but their ability to imagine and create a future beyond conflict. The Awakening Protocol, designed to defend Earth from conquest, had instead become the catalyst for a galactic renaissance. Sarah Chen, standing at a window in the Coalition's headquarters, watched ships from 100 worlds move peacefully through quantum space. "We prepared for the worst," she mused, "but we always hoped for the best." In the end, humanity's greatest weapon wasn't our technology or our strategies. It was our ability to see beyond the cycle of conquest and imagine something better. The stars themselves seemed brighter now, as if reflecting the hope of a civilization that had chosen to grow together rather than fight alone. The age of empires was over. The age of understanding had begun. And humanity, the species that had changed everything, stood ready to help guide the galaxy toward an even brighter future. In the quantum realm that connected all things, the echoes of this transformation would resonate forever, a testament to the power of foresight, the strength of unity, and the endless possibility of change.